everybody. We're going to start with a few speakers just to put words on how we feel and what we're doing here. And I'd say in the next half hour we'll probably take a little stroll around the town or something like that. But we have some banners here which make the case. RT is the virus, end the lockdown, no forced vaccines, those kind of things. So yeah, that's it. Now we have a few other bits. What we've done today is we've dropped all the political labels, all the different groups. We're not going to agree anyway, and even us here are not going to be in agreement on everything. So we're not going to try and agree. We're just going to focus on bringing about attention on the fact that we smell a rat. You know, we don't buy this, and even though a lot of people have bought it, we don't. And while we're in the position to talk about it, to defy it, we will. So some of the words, my name's David O'Reilly, I ran in Galway East based on a lot of these issues. Dara will probably talk, Karina will probably talk. If you have a burning desire to talk inside you, have a chat to one of the guys here, and we'll give you a few minutes. I'll try not to take too long. So going over the figures, you know, when this whole thing started, I think 80,000 people were supposed to die. You know, 80,000 people were expected to die in Ireland, and I was a little bit worried myself. You know, I thought my wife has a few problems here and there, and one of my girls is a bit chesty, and over the next couple of weeks I was kind of seeing how things would go. But after a couple of weeks it seemed fairly obvious that people weren't dropping like flies. You know, 80,000 people did not die, nor did 70,000 or 60,000. And that was the basis that we shut down our whole economy, and we gave up our freedom and had a trial period of communism for a while. Our Gardaí became the Gestapo, and all our neighbourhoods became full of collaborators snitching on each other. We masked up, we couldn't even talk to each other through these things. And there has to be a very good reason to put people through all that. But that reason evaporated. 40,000 people did not die. Nor did 20,000 people die. Not even 10,000 people died. Not even 5,000 people. The HSE says that 4,000 people died. But the Irish government has refused to give total death figures to the EU, because the total population death figures for Ireland are embarrassing for the government, because less people died in the year of COVID than the previous year when there was no COVID. The figures we have seen are that 1,222 less people died last year than the previous year. So there is no basis for this lockdown. There is something else going on, and we don't know what it is right now. Why Big Pharma would do would align with the government to do this. And I hope that this is just a Big Pharma scam, because that wouldn't be too bad. But if that is not the true motivation, it is far more sinister than that. If it is just that they want to reorder our society and have us all with a credit card on the other end of the internet to China, and they're going to shut down all our businesses because they're never going to open again, well, that's worse. But it's not as bad as it could be. We don't trust these people. There is plenty of signs that these Epstein Island type people are really dodgy. The worst case scenario, well, there are worser case scenarios, but if we are giving the World Health Organization and the UN and these shadowy people behind the World Bank and Epstein Island access to our bodies twice a year for the rest of our lives, what could they put in that? They already have a strategy to reduce world population. Well, maybe they could just be trying to sterilize people. But it could be worse. It could be worse. We don't know what it's about. But we know it's not about a virus. It's not about a virus. Fair play to ye for coming. And this is a great thing. We have enough people here who are not buying the narrative. You know, and that is a great thing. It only took Jesus 12 people to become the most important or powerful force in the world. You know, and what we need is three things, I think. We need to persuade people, because some people are confused. Some people believe in the new religion of science, and it's hard for them to let go of that. But they're wrong. People are wrong. And that is not a truth that you can argue with. You can't say, we'll have a bit of your truth and a bit of my truth, and we'll meet in the middle. That's not truth. That's not truth. The truth is, the politics is rigged. The parties are bought. Big Pharma, all the professions are bought. We're not going to have the existing political structures to plead our case. It seems like politics, even the voting, may very well be rigged. It seems like truth is our number one powerful message. You know, we need to turn the hearts of the people back to God and to the truth. And that's the one thing we need to do. Because there's some things that are just not true. And our youth believe far too many things that are just not true. Because they will not contest for the truth. There aren't two truths. Secondly, we need good leadership. And I'll finish fairly soon. But we need good leadership. We are up against everything. We are up against the UN, we're up against the EU, we're up against the World Bank. Our parties have been bought, the trade unions have been bought, our churches have given up on their faith. They don't know what they believe, some of them. There is nothing except ourselves and the truth, and we need good leadership. And we need, in many ways, we need to follow people who know what they're doing. We have people who have been fighting corruption at the heart of this establishment, at the heart of the Irish establishment, who know what they're talking about, who know how to tackle judges, who have taken down ministers for justice and Garda commissioners. And we need to support those people and be very careful about undermining them. You know, we're not going to have unity can be a problem. Unity with the United Nations, with the EU can be a problem. Because when everybody unites, it's very easy to put them under one person's agenda. And that's what's happened. The unity that we have today feels like communism. It feels like fascism. It feels like totalitarianism. And we don't want that kind of unity. We're quite happy to disagree about things. But we need to agree on ending the lockdown, pursuing the truth, and following good leadership who knows how to tackle all this. Finally, we need courage. We need courage. And there are people here who are nurses working in restricted areas, working on the inside. And those people are the people who have the most to risk and who have got the hardest battle to fight. So we're not opposing them. We don't look down on the people within the system who are trying to stand up from it within. You know, we're hoping that guards, nurses, teachers will take a stand within their own organisations, because their trade unions won't. They need to fight these battles. There's a young girl here who showed up on a protest, and she got into trouble at work in a very big institution. But and this is one of the big multinationals in Galway, and some of her co-workers refused to work with her because she'd been across the country. But she took a stand and she wasn't afraid. And one of the Galway multinationals agreed in principle that she had the right to protest. You know, that's a big step forward because of that stand that that young girl took. You know, and that's what teachers need to do. And that's what guards need to do. And that's what nurses need to do and doctors need to do within the organisations. So fair play to you, and we need to keep on doing this. We need to keep on taking a stand and being brave. I've gone on a bit. I don't want to talk for too long because there's enough people here. But thanks to everybody who's come. We really appreciate what you've done. We can take it from here. We can take it from here. What we can do, I'd say one more thing before we go. We've nearly been blessed with this lockdown because it's forced us into our local areas. You know, it's forced us to be active in our local areas. And if we see this as an opportunity, we can have somebody in every parish in the whole country if everybody is active in their own parishes. And what I'm encouraging people to do is just go door to door with these give masks, know the dangers, and on the other side, COVID-19 injections, know the facts. So I've got a few thousand of these here. If anybody wants to take 1,000, take 100 and just shove them through the letterboxes in your local area. And if we get locked down again tomorrow and you haven't got the courage to go out, you can still do these things and still post the letter. This is an encounter with a person. Each one of those leaflets, and each one has the potential to free people from this tyranny. So we're not going to ask for our freedoms back. We're not going to give our freedoms away. And this is what we're doing here today, and we'll continue to do it. Thank you guys. Fair play to you.